everything urban. It's your man Donni-Oh.
Yes.
J-Mo.
Yes.
You don't win a will I got wanting competition ain't don't beat you, break you, broke you, smoke you, take you, send you to your little group on mute. Sooner or later, he wanna flip, tell him full, send me half with a and all that other ringling brother ish.
Yeah, it's the kid, Maryland's mixtape boss, DJ Ill Kid. Catch me every Sunday on Live 97.5, you feel me? Live 97.5, you dig? 4 to 7 on It's Yours Radio. Salute, DMV mixtape boss. Let's go.
I am Arthur L.R. Jackson, and I have 11 books out currently on Amazon.com. Each book holds a special place, but this book right here is something that's very dear to my heart. A lot of people may not know that my father spent 11 years in prison for a conspiracy charge. And he left when I was very young. Actually, when I went to college is when he left, when I needed him the most. So initially, when I started this book, it was kind of to write about my dad's experience in a fictional form. But then I met Jay, and the story just kind of took on its own story. Basically, I touched on how a relationship works when you meet someone who has been in prison or has done time, or if you're with someone who is currently in prison, the challenges that you face. And I didn't write this to tell women, hey, go out and find somebody that's in prison, but I wrote it to pretty much say sometimes the person that you meet or that you envision as your soulmate may come in a different form, or maybe nothing like what you dreamed of. So is it worth giving up love because they don't fit your ideal situation? In this situation, the character comes from a rich family, educated, has money, and her marriage is already, she's already scheduled to be married to the son of a mayor. Her father's a wealthy businessman. She works, she has a nonprofit in which she goes into the prison system and she helps men kind of find their way back into society. But when she meets Rashid, there's this connection that she has with them. And so it's a war between her. Is it really worth giving up my security and what I have just because I've fallen in love with this man? Or is it that I just happen to fall in love with someone I can't have? And on Rashid's side, which I spoke a lot to Jay about to help with this, is just what goes through a man's mind when he is reintroduced to society and he meets a woman that he feels may kind of be out of his league. I met this woman. She has a good job. She's educated. What can I give her? Is it selfish of me to try to pursue it, or should I just let her go, knowing that I may not be able to give her what she deserves?
Or what she's used to.
Or what she's used to.
Right.
So we actually had a debate. There's a scene in the book where Rashid did something that he shouldn't have done. And me as a woman, I'm
shaking his head over there.
I'm like,
his head.
I'm kind of like, well, if he loved her, he wouldn't have done that.
Could you tell us what it is, or you don't give too much of it?
He did something that could have caused him to go back to jail. He felt the pressure. But she kept saying, I got you, I got it. She believed in him. She knew that one day he was going to be able to give her everything that she needed. And right now she was willing to support him. And like I said, I didn't write this to tell women to go out, but I just wrote it to say you may meet a man who has a flawed past, but he may be the man of your dreams.
Yeah, and it may not necessarily, like you said, be a man that's been incarcerated. You know, it could be a guy that's down on his luck at the moment.
And exactly. So I kept saying, well, the women are upset about the book. he shouldn't have done it. If he loved her, why did he do it? He put himself in a position.
I want to know what it is. You want to know what it is, J-Mo?
I guess it was a few things. It was a few things, and he did it all behind her back. And I'm kind of like, he shouldn't have done it, and he's like, no, men don't think that way. We don't think that way. We don't care that you got it.
Right.
Like, we want to do it.
Right.
So we went back and forth with this for the longest until finally it made sense what he was saying. He still was wrong, but I was able to kind of get a better sense of where he was coming from as a man. You don't really know what's in a man's mind. Even my father, to this day, my father's he's been out of jail maybe, I want to say 7-8 years or so, and there's still things that he goes through, or things that he wants to do and can't do. My father is very knowledgeable about law. He wants to go to law school, but guess what? You can't get financial aid.
Right.
So there's things that hinder things. So I took some of my dad's, some of Jay's situations. Some of the stuff in the book is real. Some of the stuff is not. I won't say what. I never do.
No doubt. Yeah, you gotta keep them guessing.
But there's a lot of truth in the book, and yeah. So I hope everybody who's read it enjoyed it, and I hope they'll continue to support.
No doubt. So, Big Han, step up real quick. Now, without giving out exactly what it was, because that's a way to get him to buy the book and see exactly what it is that LaWanda was talking about. But from your side, your perspective, as being incarcerated and coming back out, and what is that like to be down for a number of years and then to come back out? Because I know some cats was in there, they did like numbers, football numbers, and they came out and technology and everything changed. So they kind of had to almost learn again. You know what I mean? What is that like coming back out on the outside?
Well, I did 11 years. So when I came out, when I went in, it wasn't no Facebook, no Instagram, none of that. It wasn't no Facebook, no Instagram, none of that. So I had to readjust myself to everything. Not just that type of stuff, but my family. Because I've been gone for so long and I have changed, but majority of people around me, I didn't feel as though that they have changed. Because I was in there, learning and taking programs and bettering myself like that.
They still looking at the old you.
They looking at the old me, So it was a struggle. It was a struggle with my family, with peers, with homeboys who, when I came home, the first thing they want to do is they want to put bricks in your hand.
Right.
I'm not doing that no more. I'm done with that. Let's try something new. I done gave 11 years of my life to the streets, and I done lost out on my kids and, special moments that I can't never get back.
Right.
And I'm not doing that no more. So let's do something different. So I came home, man, I was making $8.75.
Wow.
And I was working 20 hours a week.
Wow.
Wow. So think about this. If you Rashid and you meet this woman, you can barely take care of yourself. So how you gonna take care of her? You dig what I'm saying? So as a man, we not talking from even though she was talking about, I got you, but as a man, I'm the one that provides. I'm the one gonna make sure we okay. Even though she got me, it just feels different. So, I gotta make things work. So, he did some things. He did some things.
Right.
But truthfully, me personally, I just became a little bit more patient in my decisions. When things came across, I was more like, nah, I got better choices now.
Not as impulsive.
Yeah, because before, J-Mo would tell you, I'm gone.
Yeah.
You put a couple bricks in my hand, I'm out of here.
Right. Right.
We back, we good, baby.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah, that's facts.
So I had to I had to really, 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 because you're going to take a lot of stuff from people, dog. You know, and you like, yo, I'm better than this. I'm better than this. But you got to see within yourself that you got to fight all those urges. And it's like after every urge you fight, a blessing come. Then after another urge come, you fight that, a blessing come. I'm like, okay, this is what it's about. Okay, I got to stay on the right path.
Yeah.
You know, and I've just been getting blessed, man. Blessed.
And that's facts, bro. He's speaking, man. He can tell you, man. One time we was working, quick story, we was working at a little spot, Best Buy warehouse. You know what I mean? Me and Han, we working in this joint, man. Yeah. I'm pulling up, and this time, you know what I mean? I'm done doing the dirt at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm pulling up every day, brand new Benz. You know what I mean? Boom. Han, he pulling up in a brand new Durango. You know what I mean? So back in these days, the supervisors of the spot he had, he's doing. They looking at him, me like real crazy every day.
I know I ain't paying you guys that much money.
Yeah.
How y'all got that?
We was on some $10 hour game at that point. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to transition to other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they looking real crazy. You know what I mean? But like you said, bro, back in the day, you handed to him, it was on. You know what I mean? That's how it went. You know? So he done 360. We talk all the time on the phone. So he done did an amazing turnaround, you know, since he done came home and everything. And I'm proud of him. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it, you know?
And then also on the flip, we was talking about, you know, readjusting and because, again, you were living at that time, you know, before going in, you used to having money whenever you want, do whatever you want, whenever you want. You know what I'm saying? And then also, too, you had a reputation, too.
That, too.
So then when you come, like you said, you come back home and cats like, okay, let's finish off where we left off at. You know what I mean? Let's finish up where we left off at. You don't have that mindset now. So that right there that's heavy temptation. Because now then you go from check to check and you used to like, man, I can go out here and boom. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that in itself, you talked about patience. That's the ultimate impatience right there.
Donni-Oh, listen to me. I had cats flying up here from Miami to see me when I came home. People tell you, they coming up, yo, what you want to do? Not that.
Right.
Not that.
Right.
Dog, I'm done with that. But it's like a lot of people, they still see you the same. They don't know that you changed, you know? And that's the main thing about this book. Institutionalized, staying in the same mindset. You know, I changed that mindset. And now I'm doing better things with my life.
Man, it's incredible. It's incredible. We're gonna go into a couple of songs. We're gonna come back with some more from the book Institutionalized. Again, L.R. Jackson. It's available on Amazon as well as the 10 other books that she's written. So make sure you go on there right now, Amazon.com, and just type in L.R. Jackson, and you'll see all her total collection of books. Incredible, a range of books. And again, from the shore, from Grove City. So definitely support. You know, we always talk about support black business, support local, support hometown. Hey, this is the opportunity to do it. And it's not always music. You know what I mean? We got a lot of talent. We got a lot of gifted people here on the shore in the DMV. And we're spotlighting it today.
Well, the last two books, actually, it's the one in the middle is an erotica, so not so much as that one. That one was for pure fun.
Okay, all right.
But The Land of the Free and Institutionalized, I've been heavily promoting for two reasons, really. The Land of the Free pretty much just touches on different things that are going on in America with race and sexuality and presidential debates and things of that nature. And then this book here that touches on the topic of reentry and loved ones who are in prison. You hit a key point earlier. My father, when he was in prison, he had no one to send money or to see him or anything of that nature. He was in the feds. So he was way out in the desert somewhere in Texas for a long time. So he really only had me. I'm young. I have this new baby, and I'm trying to raise my daughter, pay my bills, and at the same time send my dad money, pay phone bills when he calls because he has no one. And then imagine being on your own and going through things and not being able to pick up the phone and call your father or have your dad there in certain situations that you need him there. And then listening to the things that he was going through, which everybody will read in the book I'm working on now called Victimized by the Feds. My dad actually sued the government and won.
Okay.
So that book will touch on just his entire experience in prison, how he sued, why. But listening to him go through this, it kind of put me in a depression because there was nothing I could do about it. Nothing. But all I could do was just listen and support. These men go through a lot. And by no means am I justifying why they got to prison. I'm not stating that, we should feel sorry for everybody. People make mistakes. People make decisions to put them there. My point in writing this book is that doesn't make them less human.
Right.
Because of that. People can change. People do change. And just to try to lift the stigma of men who have been incarcerated. My dad, as well as Jay, they're two of the smartest men I've probably ever met. Both very business-minded, just has a drive out of this world. They're just really, really good men who made a mistake. And, sometimes they pay for that mistake in different ways. And I'm sure that they think about it at that time. Because my dad tells me all the time, if I hadn't have done that, I'd be able to do this. And, it's just tough. It really is. So.
When can we expect the book with your regarding your father?
That book will be out probably in the next few weeks. I'm wrapping that up now. That book was extremely difficult to write. My dad started out from the beginning, how he got into the game, things that he did, all kinds of stuff. And being his daughter, having to listen to that, him being married to my mother at the time, it was just difficult. And a few times I was kind of like, I can't do this.
Right.
But his story needs to be told. And so that'll be out in a few weeks. So these two books touch on that subject, reentry, things that men go through. So I'm hoping that somebody can take something away from both books.
Yeah. Just kind of piggybacking on what you mentioned earlier, talking about being, men, making mistakes, making bad decisions, being younger, a lot of times, which lands a lot of us in prison. But then it's supposed to be a place of rehab. Yeah. But we know it's not.
Oh no.
Not new. Well, Big Han talked about, I know before, used to have, where you can get your degree and master barber's license and all that stuff. A lot has been taken away in a lot of the prisons today. And again, it's become a situation where a lot of prisoners are treated less than human.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Which I want to talk about. A lot of people still don't understand when we talk about slavery. Slavery hasn't been totally abolished.
No.
It's in the 13th Amendment. I'm going to read it right now. And it talks about the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, where slavery, it's a United States Constitution abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except, that's the key word, except as punishment for a crime. So that's the one way you become enslaved. You know what I'm saying? And that's through the prison system. And so there's basically modern day slavery.
Yeah, it is. It is. And if you don't know your rights, and that's something else my dad touched on. He saw a lot. And if you don't know the right avenue to go about it, you can end up dying in prison. The things that these two have seen or witnessed, it's crucial. I don't think any of us on the streets really get it. I think we can sympathize and we can kind of, we see movies and stuff like that, and we're kind of like, oh. But when you've lived your life on the outside, you have no idea you could really die. My father changed his entire diet in prison because he didn't want to die in prison because of the food
What they
that
were
they
giving him.
served.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's seen people in bad shape, and not only do you need to know the right avenue, the wording has to be correct. If the wording isn't correct, you won't get what you need. You have to word these documents a certain way just to get seen by a doctor and things of that nature.
Right.
And it's easy for people to say, well, they shouldn't go there, you know, but this is my father.
Right.
You know? And if something were to happen to him, you know, this affects the entire family. So
exactly.
just because he made a mistake, just because Jay made a mistake, that doesn't mean when they're on the inside that they're supposed to be treated any kind of way.
Right, and it doesn't mean that that's it. Their lives are over. You know what
exactly.
I mean? And real quick, Big Han, we were talking earlier. I want you to come to the mic real quick and talk about transferable skills. Transferable skills, because that's very important in making that transition on the outside. You know, using those street skills.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
right.
what you did in the streets and do it in a legal manner.
That's right.
Because really, you're really in the streets. You're a business. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a legal business.
Legal business.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you still, a lot of them have that business mindset, and they don't even really realize
Right,
it.
because they don't have labels to them. So the same thing I used to do in the streets is what I started doing with these books. I started hustling these books the same way I was hustling drugs. One thing about transferable skills is you're an accountant, you're a manager, you're a supervisor, you're a lead. You the one make the decisions every day. So you're a boss. So you could take those same skills, which they call transferable skills, and move them into another skill set, another job. That's what I did with these books. I took it and moved it, and I started hustling these books. And I put same way I made shops for drugs. I made shops for these books where people can go and stop and pick these books up. It's the same thing, transferable skills. You gotta use the same street skills that you have and transfer them into something else. That's it.
Man.